Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are coming out of the gate hot tonight. We're going to cover the topics that are questionable in this lovely news roundup we have tonight. So as always, start with the politics. And yeah. So the feds are back at it again. Some glowies. So let's get right into it. Jason J, what's up, buddy? HT, hello. And Ala Rashard, what's up, man? No Jacob yet on Rumble, but hello in advance because I know we'll be there. So anyways, a neo-Nazi group called Blood Tribe has been spotted marching in the streets carrying swastika flags in Nashville, Tennessee. So we've seen these different groups. This was on the 17th. We've seen these different groups, and they're feds.
What are you ashamed of?
What's up, Gazer?
Is that the best you got? Best you got? Best you got? Show me your fucking faces! Where's your face? Where's your face? Show me your face. I don't even know who you are. This is my face.
Your people poop in the
Let's
street.
fucking go.
Your people poop in the street.
You don't know my
Your
people.
poop in the street.
You don't know my
Your poop in
people.
the street.
You don't know my people.
Oh, I do. It's out India, bro. Y'all shit in the street, bro. You're shit. You to poop in the
Oh,
street.
you don't know that?
Oh, I do.
Where the fuck am I from?
Because you have shit on your skin.
You guys,
Your
where's your
skin.
faces? Where's your show me your faces? Cowards! Cowards! All of you! Fucking cowards! Show me your fucking faces! Where's your face, you fucking cowards? Show me your face! Show me your faces, you fucking cowards! All of you! Fucking cowards! Fucking cowards! Fucking cowards!
I mean, anybody who dresses in uniform like that, it is in Nashville, Tennessee. So, streets of Nashville.
Fucking cowards! Fucking cowards! Fucking cowards! Cowards! Oh, almost saw his face! Oh, I almost saw his face! Fucking cowards! Fucking cowards! Fucking cowards!
Yeah, that went on for a while. So, this guy definitely not a Fed. Definitely not glowing. So from one thing that the administration's focused on to the next. This was on Faux News. Just after the deaths of 3 American soldiers in the Middle East, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken reportedly took time to focus on another pressing issue: the critical threat of misgendering. It's too bad. It's too bad.
More questions about this administration's priorities just days after the deaths of 3 American soldiers in the Middle East. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken reportedly took time to focus on another pressing issue: the threat of misgendering. More questions about this administration's.
Yeah, so that's something we need to really be concerned about. Super concerned about. Another thing that they're trying to push, and I thought this was interesting. North Vegas mayor: white-owned businesses are not welcome at the community fair. So this is something that they released. It's just, there's so much division and so much hate, and it seems to be coming from the top. It seems to be coming from who knows, but it needs to stop. All it is dividing the country further, and it's making it worse for everyone. And just stop it. Just stop. So, but here's the message from the mayor of North Las Vegas. Hey, Jude. Nope, I'm live.
I'm Mayor Pamela Goins Brown. As part of our Black History Month celebration, I'd like to invite the community out to our Black-owned business fair on Saturday, February 24th. We will have a DJ, live music, vendors, children's activities, resources, and much more. So come on and join us.
Yep. Black-owned business fair. So again, diversity and equity and inclusion, leaving the normal people out of everything. So I truly do wish that it would stop. I truly do. Speaking of diversity, equity, and inclusion, I don't know if anybody saw this news article, but Hong Kong immigrant Kelly Wong, who doesn't even have the ability to legally vote in the United States, was the first one sworn into San Francisco's Elections Commission on Wednesday. Wong is believed to be the first non-citizen appointed to the Elections Commission. Verizon had no issues? Huh. I didn't have any issues either. So, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So this is a young lady that is not a U.S. citizen, not registered to vote, but in charge of our elections in California. Great plan.
咁就其實喺2年前我嚟到三藩市嘅時候咧，咁我就認識咗好多原來三藩市有好多嘅權利㗎喎，好多權利係好多非公民啊、移民咧都可以享有嘅，包括咧就算你唔係公民咧都可以咧去做委員去影響政策嘅。好多時其實我哋華裔啦或者亞裔嘅聲音咧都比較薄弱，咁咧特別係識講中文或者其他語言嘅人咧更加少咧係有個代表性嘅喺個議會上邊，所以我覺得亦都因為咁咧，我就覺得我好想代表我哋移民嘅聲音。其實我哋都一樣有交稅，我哋一樣對社會有貢獻，但係咧我哋政策上咧好少有我哋嘅聲音。
喺華人權益促進會任職倡導嘅黃永軍係香港移民，佢今日喺三藩市市參市佩斯。
So you get the point. She took the oath and gave her press conference and all that in Mandarin. And yeah, I think that you should have to be a U.S. citizen to. I believe that you have to be a U.S. citizen to run for office. Maybe I'm incorrect on that, but I thought you did. So the fact that a non-citizen from a hostile nation is running for office, that's concerning to me. It truly is. So, hey, what's up, Linda? I believe she does. She just prefers not to. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that. Hey, Digger. What's up, Neo? I know, right? Fang Fang? Is this Fang Fang? But safest and most secure elections, and we should have no problem with it. So, from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, numerous Nevada voters looked at their voter history and found their mail-in ballots were counted in the recent primary, even though they didn't participate. So it's coming back around. 2024 looks like it's going to be another one of those, ladies and gentlemen. So just get ready for it. It's going to be a mess, and we're seeing things internally from the office and from local politics where it's going to be a mess again, and we're going to encounter some of the same issues that we saw in 2020. So just be aware that going into it, we're probably going to have some issues. Probably going to be a couple issues. Because our voting systems are the safest and most secure in history. No question. Ever. At any time. Ever. No, AP. So I don't know if this is true. There are context notes or community notes to it, but this is floating around the internet. And it is the voter registration for Michelle Obama, and she circled male. Not that it matters. I just thought it was interesting. So this is her 1994 County of Cook, State of Illinois, registration to vote in elections, and it is circled as mail. So take that for what it's worth. Take that for what it's worth. And there are community notes just for full transparency, but it lines up with some of the other things we've seen out of there. Big Mike. Speaking of 2024 elections, we're starting to see some of the world leaders weigh in on their preference. Last week we brought you that Vladimir Putin supports Joe Biden for re-election. And now we have Viktor Orban. We really want President Donald Trump to return to the White House and make peace here in Eastern Europe. It's time for another MAGA presidency in America. And I believe this is in English. But
Nem szólhatunk bele
yeah.
más országok választásaiba. De nagyon szeretnénk, ha Donald Trump elnök visszatérne az elnöki székbe, és békét csinálna itt Európa keleti felé. Ideje lenne egy Make America Great Again elnökségnek Amerikában.
I can understand that though.
Nem szólhatunk bele.
So, like I said, international support for Donald Trump. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I could see that. German's an odd language. It's I don't know any. But I've heard people speak it. It seems very, very forceful. So moving from Hungary to Poland. If you haven't seen this, it's been kind of a quiet movement, not getting a lot of press here in the States. It's getting on, let's say, alternative media sources. It is gaining some traction and getting some independent thought. But yeah, apparently there is a farmer issue where the farmers are kind of standing up. I honestly don't know the entirety of the conversation. It's something I'll definitely look into as it continues to ramp up and become more and more. But it seems like people have had enough, and they're starting to certainly push back on some of the things that are happening. And I just think it's an interesting time to be alive, because you have multiple levels of people pushing back on certain things. So, sorry, I'm trying to get this next one, but so we'll watch this short clip of the farmers.
Polish farmers poured Ukrainian grain on railway tracks at the border crossing on Tuesday amid escalating farmers' protests. They enforced a near-total blockade of the Ukrainian border, disrupting traffic nationwide in what they say is a bid to save their livelihoods. Waving Polish flags, the protesters are angry about the cheap food imports from Ukraine. But Kyiv says the protests are affecting its defense capability and helping Russia's aims. Roman Kendro is
That's like me in French. They spoke French, and I learned French, and then forgot French, and now I'm learning a little bit more of it back. I can understand when somebody's saying it. I'm not fluent, so I have not. Is there something going on? DM me if you have something.
the leader of the farmers' protest.
It was a spontaneous protest. The men came out to the tracks and wanted to demonstrate and emphasize the difficult situation in agriculture. I have no power over them. I have no way of controlling it. It is happening because farmers came from all over the country, from all over Poland. I represent the region of Podkarpackie, and I am responsible for them. I am not responsible for the emotions of the farmers from all over the country.
Drone footage shows a queue of trucks stretching for more than 6 miles at the border crossing in Dorohazk. Farmers there said they were not going to let a single truck pass from Poland to Ukraine or the other way around. Farmers across Europe have been demonstrating against constraints placed on them by European Union measures to tackle climate change. They are also unhappy about the rising costs and what they say is unfair competition from abroad, especially Ukraine. A decision from the EU in 2022 saw duties waived on all Ukrainian food imports. Kyiv said its agricultural exports through Eastern Europe have not damaged the EU markets. Ukrainian President Zelensky said on Monday the protests demonstrated, quote, the erosion of solidarity on a daily basis. Warsaw has been a staunch supporter of Kyiv in its fight against Russia. However, the farmers' protests have strained ties that were already on edge after truckers blocked border crossings around the turn of the year. Although Poland's new pro-European government has expressed sympathy for the farmers' demands, it also urged them not to take action that could damage Ukraine's war effort.
So that is what's going on over there. In France, they've made it a law to say anything about with a 3-year jail term. Damn. Okay. Did you send it to me on Twitter or? Oh. No, I don't see it. Are you sure you sent it to me? Or you sent it to me before? All right. Hey, Zero. So, from Poland to our neighbor to the north, Diggers, Canada. And I can't say anything about it. So, enjoy.
We will not let fear win. A world without trans people has never existed. A world without drag has never existed, and it never will. Queer people have always been here amongst us. They are our coworkers, they are our brothers, our sisters, they are our mothers, our fathers, they are our families. Drag is art, drag is culture, drag is educational, drag is creative, drag is comedy, but drag is not a crime. My name is Scarlett Bobo, and thank you so much for your time.
Smash. Anyways, can't talk about it. Moving on. Historians, experts, and scholars. We talked about this. We talked about this on Monday, the President's Day. So this is the historians, experts, and scholars poll, and this is how they broke down the 2024 Presidential Greatness Project. So they have Abraham Lincoln as number 1, FDR as 2, Washington 3, Roosevelt 4, Jefferson 5, Truman 6, Obama 7, and Eisenhower, Lyndon Baines Johnson, John F. Kennedy, Biden at 14, and Trump at 45. I mean, he was 45 and will be 47. Yeah, that just continues to grow too. I agree. So I don't agree with this, obviously. I'm not a fan of Roosevelt. Obviously, Potato Joe shouldn't be all the way up there. So I have some disagreements with it. It seems like a woke political project yet again. So, exactly. Maybe, yeah. A lot of people are in love with FDR because he expanded government. What's the word I'm looking for? Expanded government projects. I mean, he made all the different projects for the New Deal, all that stuff. He was the quintessential Democrat. So I knew what you meant. Okay, I appreciate it. Eisenhower would be at the top of your list. Eisenhower wasn't bad. Ike. JFK is not bad. Obviously Washington, you would think would be up there. Oh no. Damn you, stingy. All right, I'll get to those in the crime section. I know, right? Yeah. So, from number 14, we have several things with this lovely border. So, the next three stories are going to be completely related to the border. All of them are incredibly frustrating, but we'll start with remarkable. More Chinese nationals have been crossing here in the San Diego sector in recent months than Mexican nationals. Why would Chinese nationals not enter the U.S. legally? You know why.
Fox News has obtained some brand new internal CBP data which shows something remarkable. More Chinese nationals have been crossing here in the San Diego sector in recent months than Mexican nationals. So take a look at this first graphic right here. According to that data, this is the top 10 nationalities that Border Patrol have arrested crossing illegally here in San Diego sector since October 1st. Colombia is number one, but take a look at number two, China. 21,000 Chinese nationals have been encountered by agents here in recent months. They are ahead of Mexico by several thousand. That is remarkable to see. You can also see Turkey has had more than 6,000 of its citizens apprehended here, 5,000 from Guinea in Africa, another 5,000 from India. Then take a look at this second graphic here of more notable countries apprehended here in San Diego sector since October. Mauritania in Africa, 2,500. Uzbekistan, 2,500. Afghanistan, 1,600. Russia, 850, and then hundreds more from both Tajikistan and Kyrgyzstan. Those countries I just named are special interest countries with potential national security concerns. The feds are supposed to vet their citizens more, but that's very difficult because our countries don't share criminal databases. Fox News.
Don't worry, folks. The Chinese illegals are coming to Canada via your border. CCP is planning to take over. Kind of seems like it might be an invasion. Not going to lie. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that's how they do it. So, the problem at the border is just it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And this next story that we have is part of that consequence. So everything's fine. I mean, you break things down and then you start to see the downstream impact. And this one is just saddening. This one's just saddening. I'm not against immigration either. Just do it correctly. And is our system broken? Absolutely. 100% it's broken. But letting all these people in and promising amnesty is not a solution. It's just going to make the problem worse. Damn you, Eliza. That's the next story. I'm getting there. So, 12-year-old Boston boy thought he had basketball practice, but he didn't because illegals have taken over his community center. If you look at things like O'Keefe Media Group, he's been doing kind of infiltrating these centers, and these centers are getting massive funding, getting massive benefits, and taking over. You can't see what they're doing. There's no audits. There's no nothing. And it's just, at some point we need to stop this because this is the downstream effect.
It's been 2 weeks since the Melnea Cache Recreational Community Center in Roxbury was converted into an emergency shelter for migrant families. Hundreds of beds now cover the indoor track and soccer fields where neighborhood children like 12-year-old Jeremiah Rodriguez thought he had baseball practice this weekend.
We usually practice.
And what happened when you went here today?
They were closed.
Closed to the public, as dozens of families are now living in the shelter who were at one point sleeping in Logan Airport, as the state shelter system is stretched to the limit.
Overall, it has been putting some pressure on the capacity of our system.
It's okay to help, but
Putting pressure?
I don't think that's the place to do it because kids and family go and enjoy.
As a community, voicing our opinion and our concerns for the youth center and the elderly programs going down there. And it just seemed like our voices weren't heard.
In an effort to mobilize the community, activist Clifton Braithwaite held a neighborhood meeting at 1102 Blue Community Center and event space in Roxbury, where folks voiced their concerns.
We wanted to give a clear message that you're taking away resources from not only from Boston or Massachusetts for illegal immigrants who pay nothing into our taxes.
The recreational center is a vital resource for youth and adult programs. The decision to make it a temporary home until May 31st for migrant families is called humanitarian and also difficult for some.
I'm just looking to talk and network with other people in my community and be educated by them.
We care about our immigrants, brothers and sisters, right? But it has to be a fair balance. How can you tell people that was down at Mass Ave for over 10 years, there was no money for them, and now you found money?
In Roxbury, I'm Paul Burke.
Yeah, and it's just the downstream effects. It's the effects that you're having on the citizens that are here, that's lives are worse off because you want to what? Like, what is the end game? What is your end goal? And I'm going to skip to another one, and then we'll go to the credit card one. Gretchen Whitmer looking for Michigan residents to house migrants. Excuse my French, but fuck you, Gretchen. Michigan's Governor Gretchen Whitmer's Office of Global Michigan is looking for resident volunteers to house illegal aliens in their homes and integrate them into society. ABC 12 reports Whitmer's administration is seeking volunteers to do several tasks, including meeting the person or family at the airport, help find housing, enroll children in school, and help finding employment for all adults. The Michigan Department of Labor and Economic Development says residents who participate must make a 90-day commitment to apparently meet every migrant need. Programs like the Welcome Corps, Office of Global Michigan's mission to make Michigan the home for opportunity for our migrant, immigrant, refugee, and ethnic communities. Poppy Hernandez, Global Michigan Director and Michigan's Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer, said in a statement, expand refugee resettlement pathways, empower more Michiganders to support our state's growing refugee population, and build a more welcoming and inclusive Michigan for all. No, we don't. We don't. Good question. I know, right? Exactly. Yeah, I'm not going to volunteer to do it, and I wouldn't suggest it. Although we don't give opinions here or advice. Just some asshole on the internet. But here's the third one. Eric Adams claims that providing illegal aliens with debit cards for purchasing their own food will result in significant cost savings for the city. However, the chair of the City Council's Oversight and Investigations Committee is questioning why the city awarded a $53 million no-bid contract without exploring the possibility of securing a more favorable agreement. So, like Eliza said, and this is happening at the border, it's happening in some of these sanctuary states. They're just handing out credit cards for food and necessities and to make a base here. And that's just going to cause more inflation and more heartache among citizens. And it's tough. It's tough for an American family to buy groceries and get what they need. So it's unfortunate, but exactly. So it's a sweetheart deal on top of it could, but who's to say that that's what it's going to be used for? So
There are questions tonight about a controversial program launched by the Adams administration to give migrant families prepaid debit cards to buy food and other things they need.
CBS 2's political reporter Marsha Kramer is here to sort it all out. Marsha.
Well, Dick and Dana, Mayor Adams says giving asylum seekers debit cards to buy their own food will save the city millions. But the head of the city council's Oversight and Investigations Committee wants to know why the city issued a $53 million no-bid contract without seeing if it could get a better deal.
I think you should bid it out to see who would do the best job at the best cost for taxpayers.
Councilmember Gail Brewer says she wants to investigate a pilot program launched by Mayor Adams to give asylum seekers prepaid debit cards that will allow them to buy food, baby products, and other necessities at supermarkets, bodegas, groceries, and convenience stores. The $53 million contract reviewed by CBS 2 gives the firm Mobility Capital Finance lots of fees for services, including $125,000 one-time setup fee, $250,000 in annual management fees, and fees based on how much money is distributed to migrants. $1.5 million for the first $50 million handed out, $2.5 million for the next $100 million. The pilot program will involve 500 families staying in short-term hotels like the Row and the Watson. According to the contract, the most a card can have is $10,000, but most cards will be refilled every 4 weeks. A family of 4 can get about $1,000, $35 a day, and they can buy whatever food they want to eat.
I don't know exactly how it's going to work. In other words, I do say from the release that it would be for diapers and baby products and food, but you have to be careful that that's what it's actually going to be for.
Mayor Adams insists it's an innovative way to save money and prevent food waste because many asylum seekers don't eat the food they were given in the hotels and shelters. He said if the pilot
cry
program
me a
is successful,
fucking river.
It is going to save us in the area of $7.2 million a year. I believe $600,000 a month.
were there other people that could have provided the same service for less money? Are you getting the best bang for your buck?
Without a doubt.
The mayor insisted that part of the allure of the company is that it was a minority-owned firm.
MWBs, women and minority-owned businesses have historically been locked out. So I know I'm disrupting what people traditionally would like for us to do.
Now
All right.
I need about $3.50.
What's $3.50?
$3.50.
$3.50.
So, because we have to, because it's our, what's up, guy from Mecton? It always sounds hella racist. What's up, amazing? You're going to open a taco truck and buy supplies with taxpayer money. I mean, that would be the smart thing to do. Yeah. I don't even know anymore. It's just so damn laughable that, like, what are we supposed to do? Why is this okay? And what do we do to change it? What do we do? It's not going to change. It's not going to change at least for the next year. And then what's to say it's going to change then? I mean, it's frustrating. It's crazy how they get information on people and then they just fall right in the line, right? Vote harder, right? I think it's going to take more than that, but we won't talk about that tonight. So now we go into Potato Corner. New documents show Biden's dog Commander has bit at least 24 Secret Service personnel before he was removed from the White House. These are all the Secret Service officers that were bit and injured. 12 of the 24 were treated at the White House Medical Unit. 12 of the 24 were not treated for injuries. That's just a bad, I don't know. It's not a good look for the president. but 24, and we can see they're all so from 10 to 22. So about an 8-month time span, there's 24 people bit. Yes. So 24 people bit. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of bites. Speaking of the potato, he trips up the stairs again. I have a short out for to approve funding for him to get a Acorn stair lift. So possibly. Now, it wasn't an entire fall, but I want you to take into account, again, we've already moved the stairs down to the bottom of the aircraft because he could not make it up the full stack of stairs or the full flight of stairs. So now we have these shorter stairs that are supposed to be easier for him to get up, and he's still tripping. So take it for what it's worth. Here's him walking. Many are saying this is a clear sign of a cognitive ability. I would never say that, but he decides. Now has to be escorted. $31 million votes. Oh no. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just the optics of it. The optics make it look terrible. They make us look terrible. We need to stop voting for people that are north of 80. And maybe get some younger blood in, you know. That's what it seems like, is there's some kind of cognitive issue. So exactly. So we'll get to some comments from Joe. This is announcing sanctions on Russia. So we have more sanctions coming for Russia.
What I came to tell you was, I told you we'd be announcing sanctions on Russia. We'll have a major package announced on Friday. I'll be happy to sit with you all doing that, okay? What I came to tell.
So we have a major sanctions package coming up on Russia on Friday. So tomorrow. Yeah, let's provoke Russia some more. Let's provoke Russia some more. That sounds like a great plan. Here's him talking about, you're going to California, or he's asked, you're going to California. Is this about coming up with a plan B for 2024? Does Gavin need to stand by?
Going to California. Is this about coming up with a plan B for 2024? Does Gavin need to stand by? Are you ready? Yes, sir. Well, I'm looking at you. We're looking at you. Hey, whoa.
Whoa. And of course he's gonna we covered this last week. So-called journalist asked Biden, would you go as far as to say that Alexei Navalny's blood is on the hands of House Republicans? Biden, I would not use that term, but they're making a big mistake not responding. This guy was not a strong U.S. ally. We covered his untimely death in the last episode of the News Roundup. I think that, yet again, this is another reason for the Warhawks to get our hands on a conflict in Russia. And no, thank you. I don't want to get involved. But you can hear former Vice President's response.
Mr. President, would you go as far as to say that Alexei Navalny's blood is on the hands of House Republicans right now?
I just use that saying they're making a big mistake not responding. Look, the way they're walking away from the threat of Russia, the way they're walking away from NATO, the way they're walking away from meeting our obligations, it's just shocking. I've been for a while. I've never seen anything like this.
Mr. President, would you go as far as to say that?
No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. I don't know what to make of it, and I cover it every week. So, just going through and showing what's happened. So, this is interesting that you see the canceling student debt. Couldn't find a direct article on it, but the rumor is he's canceling another 1.2 billion in student debt. And this is his response to how the country's doing, kind of the State of the Union, which, ironically, State of the Union is about 2 months late, and he still has not, to my knowledge, scheduled the State of the Union. He may have at this point. But yeah, that's also concerning. So,
and the economy is growing. It's growing. Jobs, income, across the board. We have the most advanced economy of any major nation in the world.
Pepper.
And the economy is.
We're still growing. That's why I only do this once a week. I do one time per week. That's plenty. And then we can focus on other things throughout the rest of the week. So, going from former vice president to somebody who will never be vice president or president for that matter. Nimrata talking to kind of getting a little frustrated, and we'll see her cry in the next clip, and then give more of her bullshit in the following clip, or the clip following that. So this is her being asked a tough question and kind of snapping back. So
how do you win your first state?
We're gonna get.
It's amazing to say I haven't won a state yet. You've only had 3 states that have voted.
Well, it's not amazing.
We need to
South
go ahead and let
Carolina's winner
these
take
states-
all. How do you win your first state?
So I don't think she wins South Carolina. I don't think she thinks she wins South Carolina. And here we go. This is why, because she said as much. So this is during a speech in Greenville, and we'll take a listen. So
I wish Michael was here today, and I wish our children and I could see him tonight, but we can't. He's serving on the other side of the world, where conflict is the norm, where terrorists hide among the innocent, where Iran's terrorist proxies are now attacking American troops.
I don't think it's ever a good look to be overly emotional when running for president. She's looked lost for some time now. I don't think it's Well, she said that the Nevada primary was rigged already, so I think that she's in way over her head, and maybe not her choice to continue on. And she just has to make her donors happy. So here's a juxtaposition. Here's a different speech that she gave that she has a little bit more.
There were 14 candidates in the race. We've defeated a dozen of the fellas. I just have one more fella to catch up to. The majority of Americans disapprove of Joe Biden. The majority of Americans disapprove of Donald Trump. We don't anoint kings in this country. We let the people vote.
And I think that's most of it. I think she's just sticking around because she hopes that Donald Trump is ineligible to run for president. But it's looking more and more like he will be eligible. And she wants to scoop up the nomination if he is ineligible. So so we're going to go back to the current administration. And this is interesting because we've talked about this. There's nobody on the Dem side but Joe and Kamala. If they're talking about Gavin in the vice president spot, that obviously elevates Harris. Harris would become the front runner. Um, so this is an interesting time for this comment.
What do you say to those concerns, specifically if he had to pass the powers to you for 1 second, 1 minute, heaven forbid, and I ask with all due respect, but are you capable? Are you ready to step into the role and do whatever the country would need?
Absolutely ready. But thank God our president is in good shape, in good health, and is ready to lead in our second term.
Gross. Exactly. I was trying to be not a misogynist asshole saying it, but if you said it, then I feel like it's better during a public speech because they're not getting their way. Oh, that's one of the hardest things is you can never have an off day. And no, she beat no one. She beat no one. So moving from one vice president to Trump hints at possible vice presidential picks. So we have one, two. So we have a couple more that are Trump related, but this is what indication we have so far about his potential VP pick.
The audience has been asked who they think would be a good choice, and various names came up. One of them was, of course, Vivek Ramaswamy. Yeah. He's made a big splash. Ron DeSantis, who's making an appearance today in South Carolina, we just found out. Obviously, Tim Scott, Byron Donalds, and a big presence here for Tulsi Gabbard. Very interesting. And Kristi Noem as well, I should say. Right. Are they all on your short list? And when can we expect that you will announce your choice?
The one thing that always surprises me is that the VP choice has absolutely no impact. It's whoever the president is. It just seems. I remember when Sarah Palin was actually picked, and she did have a big up, and then they just went after her at a level that nobody's seen. The Republicans themselves went after what they did.
But you'll be a one-term president because you've already served, so you can only serve for one term, although they say you'll never leave office. I assume that you'll never leave. There'll never be another election
Don't
again.
do it. He'll never leave. He's never going. Oh, these people. They are
so for that reason, it is important who you pick.
I think it's very important. But look, first is that, as we said, it has to do with whoever is, it's a very important position for that reason. You would like to get somebody that could help you from the voter standpoint. And honestly, all of those people are good. They're all good. They're all solid. And I always say, I want people with common sense because there's so many things happening in this country that don't make sense. Who wants an open border? Who wants high interest rates? Who wants all electric vehicles? And they're fine, but you want to have choice. You want to go to combustion. You want to go to any hybrid. I think the hybrid are much better from that standpoint. But we were talking about faucets. We're talking about so much. It's all based on common sense. We want a strong military. We want choice in education. We want to have things that can really make our country great again. What we're doing with the open border is a disaster. We are destroying our country. We're going to change that fast, and we're going to get your energy prices down.
Mr. President, thank you so much for this.
So that is what we have. I'm typing. I'm terrible at timing. That's what we have. Not a ton of indication. It's going to have to come up soon. But as he said, it doesn't seem like there's a ton of weight on the vice presidency, maybe a temporary bump, and then it probably will go down. Hang on. I'm typing. Well, actually, let me go to the next clip and then I'll type in the poll question. So shit, that one's only 9 seconds. Whatever, it'll buy me 9 seconds.
Do you think Nikki Haley will run as a no labels candidate?
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
You've had enough. Do you think Nikki Haley will run as a no labels candidate?
Thank you, press. Thank you, press.
You've had enough.
We've had enough of her. Love it. So I spelled that wrong. I know I did. There's my there's my top thoughts. You guys are welcome to vote on the poll of who should be Trump's vice president. Yeah. I'll take a look at it. While I'm doing that. So, who wants open voters and high interest? Cloud Piven people, they're literally firing Cloud Piven. Don't wait to deny it. Should be. We got to pick somebody. So then we move on to this. I don't think that this was in any way a just verdict. 355, 364, whatever it ended up being. A massive fine. He has to put up the cash and surety to appeal. And he's barred from doing business for 3 years in the city of New York. We're seeing a lot of domino effects, and we're seeing a lot of downstream effects of this ruling. And we'll see Trump's response to some of it kind of jokingly, but this is also something that we're seeing. We're seeing truckers that are refusing to deliver anything to New York City. And that is going to have a major impact on the local economy. Not that this massive judgment already hasn't. There's several people that are moving out or not doing business anymore. So we'll listen to this guy. He's one of many. If you scrolled through Twitter or don't do TikTok, but if you scrolled through Twitter recently, you see a lot of the truckers making a statement saying that they would not be engaged or involved in any of this. They would not take loads into New York City anymore.
New York, New York, New York. Fucking with Trump.
Yeah.
Fucking with Trump. Now the truckers ain't trying to deliver y'all produce, y'all goods for 3 years. If you in New York, you better get up out of there. Yeah, I think groceries are high now. Y'all better respect Trump's gangster, and y'all better respect that MAGA crowd. They're not playing. They're not playing. As you can see, they're not playing. Keep on fucking around. You're going to find out.
Truer words have never been spoken. Keep on fucking around. You're going to find out. Yeah, I heard that it's going to be blue states. I think blue states would be a lot harder to organize. And I live in a blue state, so maybe not. Let's go all blue states. Like we can go the like New York, California's. We can do that. But let's leave my state alone for a minute. Until we can get the hell out of here if it continues to go downhill like that. But it does say they're upright and sending data. Huh. Okay. That would be an interesting change. Yeah, nothing. I mean, it would completely shut down ops there. Speaking of Donald Trump trying to make that money back, selling these gold ass sneakers for $399. I was kind of upset that they sold out. So
You know, I've wanted to do this for a long time. I have some incredible people that work with me on things, and they came up with this. And this is something I've been talking about for 12 years, 13 years. And I think it's going to be a big success. Your influencers have been very positive. They've been real influencers, and they love it, and they love what we've done. That's the real deal. That's the real deal. And we appreciate it. We really appreciate it. More than anything else, I appreciate the turnout because they say they've never had a turnout like this. And we're going to do things that are terrific. And, you know, it's very important. What's the most important thing? To go out and vote, right? We have to go out and vote. We got to get young people out to vote. And you're going to vote, and we're going to turn this thing around. This country's not doing so well. We're going to turn this country around fast. We're going to turn it around fast.
So those are the gold sneakers. They're pretty freaking cool. I'm going to jump out of turn just for a second. So this is the most recent signal that we got from IM1. So as we can see, it's starting to pick up. It's still not great, but it's better than it was. So, so that's progress. And like we talked about, Brian and I talked about, it could be boosting signal because of LRO. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I mean, it's encouraging that the signal's getting better. So, that would be awesome. There's one that was 9 that was signed by Trump that went to auction, $9,000. But it's UTC, so it's not Eastern time. It's UTC, so it's the accurate time. It's current. So here is CNN, Communist News Network, talking about what would happen if Truth Social, like how he's not basically in trouble, because if Truth Social, if he decided to take it public, then just listen to him.
Category, is there any good financial news for Trump?
Yeah, so very interesting. And Audie, in fact, was the one who pointed this out to me. Trump's Truth Social share worth. So back in 2022, it was about 700 million. Last year, it was less than 100 million. But there's this idea, essentially, that Truth Social will, in fact, be able to go public. And how much would Trump's shares be worth if it does, in fact, go public? It could be upwards of $4 billion. That's billion with a B, not million with an M. Now, of course, keep in mind that Trump can't sell these stocks for another 6 months. But the fact is, we've had all this bad news for Trump. This could be good financial news for Donald Trump.
$4 billion for Truth if it goes public. So, I don't think he's in as dire of financial straits as they try and say he is. So, so that's all for politics. Let's move on to war news that's going around town. Heavy on the flight board right now. We've had P8s up all day. We've had that's C-17. We've had some C-130s, C-17. Doomsday plane is up again. No, wait, that's Air Force One. Excuse me. That's Air Force One leaving California. So that's Joe Biden on Air Force One going back from California where he was today. There's the Doomsday plane. Still flying right there. Or is that a command and control? That might be CNC for the president as it's leading. That's the Doomsday plane. I knew it was up. I just had to find it. Never mind. So that's the Doomsday plane. This is the lead plane for the president. This is the actual president. We have a bunch of tankers, a bunch of command and controls up. So there's a lot in the air for a random Thursday night. Hungary is taking something out. That's not a... There we go. So it looks skies look a little heavy for a random Thursday night, but given news we'll cover later, that's not uncommon. We have a Heron drone up over Malta, and these are all Indian aircraft, Thai aircraft, and Australia looks pretty heavy. This is really heavy for Australia, actually. So I have a couple P8s. C-17s, A300s. So the skies are pretty heavy right now, but that's not uncommon given what's kind of taking place today. So, but always a data point, something to look forward to or look at. Excuse me. The Doomsday plane is not always up. In fact, it's usually not up. It has been up the last 2 or 3 days, pretty consistent. So, Doomsday plane is command and control if there was a nuclear attack. It is an old-fashioned tech, and it can withstand electromagnetic pulses, and it can withstand nuclear blast as long as they're not direct, and they can continue to control the United States military and continuity of government from the Doomsday aircraft. It could stay up for a really long time. So, no, it won't. So then we move on. This is a tragic story. 4 deaths charged, and this happened today. So this one's actually breaking. 4 charged in deaths of Navy SEALs boarding ship carrying Iranian-made weapons to Yemen. Prosecutors say they were mariners aboard the ship that intercepted by the U.S. Navy. So I said this was an odd story coming out because it's not like SEALs die in the water very often. So Doomsday subs are, but the Doomsday plane usually isn't. So, but 4 charged in deaths of Navy SEALs. So I said that was funny, and it's starting to kind of break that there was something nefarious going on there. So it's just interesting. We'll wait to see what kind of comes out about it. It's just breaking, so there's not a hell of a lot out there for it. Yeah, this one's been odd the whole time though. So, as always, when we lose any American service member, it's tragic, and we pray for their families because it's never fun to get that flag or lose a loved one due to a conflict, and especially a conflict that we probably shouldn't have anything to do with right now. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. But with that being said, this was 2 days ago. Houthis target ship linked to humanitarian aid, U.S. military. On February 19th, between 12:30 p.m. and 1:50 p.m. Sana time, Iranian-backed Houthi terrorists fired 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles at MV Sea Champion, a Greek-flagged U.S.-owned boat carrier bound for the port of Aden in Yemen. One of the missiles detonated near the ship, causing minor damage. Nevertheless, her crew proceeded on course to their ultimate destination, delivering grain to Aden, Yemen, for the benefit of the Yemeni people. MVC Champ has delivered humanitarian aid to Yemen 11 times in the past 5 years. Houthi aggression in the region has exacerbated already high levels of need in conflict-impacted Yemen, which remains one of the largest humanitarian crises in the world, with nearly 80% of the entire population needing humanitarian assistance. We are committed to countering the Houthis' malign activities, which directly endangered the imports of foodstuff and humanitarian aid to Yemen. So the attacks are ramping up, and then we also have one that happened that preceded this one. Red Sea activities between 9:30 and 10:45 p.m. on February 18th. 2 anti-ship ballistic missiles were launched from an Iranian-backed Houthi terrorist-controlled areas of Yemen towards MV Rubimar, a Belize-flagged UK-owned boat carrier. One of the missiles struck the vessel, causing damage. The ship was issued a distress call, and a coalition warship, along with another merchant vessel, responded to the call to assist the crew of the MV Rubimar. The crew were transported to the nearby port by the merchant vessel. So, that's actually a good idea. So, yeah. Yeah, there'll be something on it, but I wanna go in a little bit more depth with it. So, and then So the Red Sea, as we've seen from the past however many weeks, has continued to heat up and continue to get more tense and things like that. And the Biden administration is just continuing to fuel the fire. Biden administration considers sending long-range missiles to Ukraine. I was thinking that we might be done over there, but it looks like they're not ready to give up on that. And of course they're not. It's a cash cow. Why wouldn't they? Or why would they? Why would they? Why would they give up? But it's another instance where we shouldn't be supplying further weapons, and we definitely shouldn't be supplying ballistic missiles to Ukraine. That's only going to further escalate tensions. So no, you could be my vice president. You can be my Kamala Harris. Story of the night, in my opinion. I've had some disagreement internally with some friends that this isn't as big of a deal as it is, but it seems like, if nothing else, this may have been a dry run. So the rest of the war stories will be focused here. So where to start? So we'll start right here. This is one of the things that came out today. There are now reports that numerous pharmacies across the United States is reporting outages in the wake of the cyber attack. And the update to that is the cyber attack targeting Change Healthcare, one of the country's largest healthcare technology companies that manages orders and payments from patients across the United States. This has resulted in delays in filling prescriptions for pharmacies across the U.S. So we add to that the AT&T outage, which I'm sure people have. YouTube's been hiding everything, man. YouTube's been hiding a lot, and then they'll hide subsequent comments that you put up too. So, the FBI and other federal agencies, along with DHS, will be investigating whether the AT&T outage was caused by a cyber attack. So for more on the AT&T outage, says cell service restored after widespread outage, cause remains unknown. And preceding that message, nationwide AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile outage affecting all national phone carriers. 911 down for many. Be aware. So there was obvious interruptions. There was some Google interruptions. Just across the board, there were several interruptions of services. Today in the U.S., I don't know if many people had any impact from those, but it seemed to be an issue. I didn't notice any service interruptions personally with my devices, but I know a lot of people had issues today. So here's Senator Rubio responding to that. Senator Rubio fires up warning about China following a massive AT&T outage today. I don't know the cause of the AT&T outage, but I know it will be 100 times worse when China launches cyber attack on America on the eve of a Taiwan invasion. And it won't be cell service they hit, it will be your power, water, and your bank. With all due respect, Mr. Congressman, then do something about it. Like now, before it gets there. And just a little bit more to add to that. So here's a separate outlet reporting reporting delays to prescription orders due to a cyber attack against Change Healthcare, one of the nation's largest healthcare technology companies. So it seems like it was a parallel attack between cell phone providers and a specific pharmacy provider. And again, there's probably going to be more to come out of this one. There'll certainly be an investigation. the reality is that we're incredibly vulnerable to this kind of attack and behavior. And it's truly something that we should be prepared for and concerned with and have in the back of our mind. So that's something just to look out for. Certainly. So now we move on. AT&T's website wasn't working either. Down Detector said there was. Verizon saying the system is fine. It's customers trying to call their people on platforms, not us, them. Okay. Yeah, and if the whole Russia thing is accurate, then that's gonna be pretty significant, and we're gonna lose communications and power and all kinds of services, and things are gonna be complete and utter mess. So be prepared, get some food and water, and be ready for whatever comes. No, did they? Huh. Yeah, some people said it was out for as much as 8 hours. So yeah, I mean, if I can stream, absolutely, I'll be here. But we might not have that opportunity, and just something to think about. So, dead a few, but it's not legal to report on some of that. Gotcha. All right. So moving into Prison Planet. So your discretion is advised. We have some terrible ones, but they're not yet. I'll let you know when they come up. But yeah, I get a breaking on this one. Breaking: evacuations are underway due to a credible bomb threat at Queens College in New York. At this time, significant law enforcement and emergency crews are on the scene at Queens College, Queens, New York, due to credible bomb threat. Officials are urging everyone on campus to evacuate immediately, as they're saying there's a credible threat of violence and they're working to clear the campus. Please do not remain on campus. Remote learning will remain available. Damn. Huh. So I don't know where, I mean, I know it's in New York, but I don't know where Queens College is or what their claim to fame is. So, all right. Trigger warning. This one's from Stingy. Death of Awasa team prompts investigation and statements from LGBTQ plus organization, Superintendent Walters. Oklahoma authorities are investigating what led to the death of a non-binary team out of Awasa. 16-year-old Nex Benedict died earlier this month, one day after officials say they got into a fight at the high school. According to the school district, the fight broke out in a bathroom and was broken up by other students, after which Benedict and the others were reportedly giving a health assessment by a district nurse. School officials say the nurse found no need to call the ambulance, saying it was recommended that one parent that their student visit a medical facility for further examination. Benedict was reportedly taken to the hospital for treatment and was released, but needed to return the next day, where they later died. Wassa police say they're investigating the incident and waiting on an autopsy and toxicology before they release any more information. They say they're also interviewing both school staff and students. Superintendent released a statement. The safety and security of our students is our top priority, as well as the first responsibility of Oklahoma schools. I mourn the loss of the student in Awasa and pray for God's comfort for the family and the entire Awasa community. So it sounds like something happened in that bathroom potentially. That caused the young man to young they them. Sorry, to lose their life. So, it always sucks to see kids die. So. Yeah, I know. Um, hell yeah, this one's breaking too. It's this day, so I can say it, Digger. Breaking police pursuit ends in a dramatic chase after a stolen semi-truck sparks and flames fly in Cucamonga, California. Police pursue a stolen big semi-truck with sparks and flames flying from the vehicle. The pursuit began in Bakersfield, California, after the truck was stolen while being filled with gas. Lasting over an hour, it ended up in Cucamonga, California, where police deployed spike strips, puncturing both front tires and causing sparks and flames to erupt from the truck. The suspect was later tackled and arrested. This was kind of cool. What's up, Fiery? That's what it sounds like, or getting beat up. Yeah, they had some momentum. It's a hell of a fire. Damn, that truck's on fire. Hey, no worries, buddy. I appreciate it. It sounds good. I might have to move. I might move tomorrow to Saturday, but I haven't decided yet because, yeah. But I'll let everybody know as soon as I can. It just depends. I have something going on IRL that might trump it. Damn, that's one hell of a fire, and those wheels are completely gone. Wonder why he stole it. Yeah, I mean, joyride, maybe. I don't know. Damn you, stingy. I'm only reading the condensed version. Breaking. Anti-Catholic drag queen Adam Westbrook was arrested and is facing 4 counts of possession of really bad stuff and 4 counts of exploitation. Adam was also the human resources director for Outagamie County, Wisconsin, and is pictured in drag with the mayor of Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Of course he was. Of course he was. Oh, sweet. Okay. I know, right? Is Bry here? Bry, give me a hell yeah if you're here, because I'm saving this one for you. So we'll go to a different one until Bry. Confirmed explosion at shopping center, lockdown and evacuation in place in Tustin, California. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Currently, numerous law enforcement officers, including the bomb squad, are on the scene. As officials have confirmed that there was an explosion at the Tustin Legacy Shopping Center near the Bank of America in Tustin, California. Evacuations and lockdowns are in place, and the FBI is involved, as the loud boom could be heard from miles away. It's not immediately known if anyone was hurt, and this is still developing. And then we have an update, and this was caused by a homemade illegal mortar-like firework that was set off near one of the entrances to the shopping center. Produced a loud boom that could be heard from miles away, according to multiple reports. One person was taken into custody. So, of course, we get the gratuitous police. So, a homemade mortar, so a homemade IED. Lovely world we live in, boys and girls. Speaking of lovely world, this is just a bridge too far. 6 people have been shot at a Waffle House diner with fatalities in Indianapolis, Indiana. Numerous law enforcement are on the scene after 6 people were injured in a shooting at the Waffle House in Indianapolis. One person has died from the injuries and taken to the hospital, or at the hospital. The condition of the other 5 victims is unknown at this time. Police reported that 2 groups of people were involved in the altercation at the restaurant before the shooting had occurred. The incident took place inside the Waffle House, with many people present during the shooting. Investigators are still searching for the shooting suspect. And this kind of mirrors what we ended up finding out this morning from the Kansas City parade shooting. It was because the Kansas City parade shooting for the Chiefs championship parade, the shooting happened because somebody looked at him funny. That's what he said. So, that's what he said. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in today's day and age. What's up, Axel? So, again, just gratuitous police footage.
Damn, they got the news crew out here. They got so many cops out here.
Kristi Noem is the governor of one of the Dakotas, and RFK is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
No roads are blocked off.
We were talking about it earlier. So moving on. Now we're gonna get into some of the here. Let's go with the really bad ones to end. So let me reevaluate. Adult film star Cagney Lynn Carter dead at 36 after apparent suicide. She was obviously very talented. Died of suicide, allegedly. So we've been seeing that more and more. There's been a couple adult film stars that have taken their own lives in the recent past. So it's unfortunate. I've never seen any of her work. I don't know, Eliza. She's an adult film star. So first responders who were murdered while responding to a domestic call in Burnsville, Minnesota Sunday morning. Cowardly suspect is also dead from a self-inflicted gunshot. So this was in Minnesota. Officer Palm Elmstrand, Matthew Rouge, also an officer, were killed in the line of duty. And Adam Finsift was a firefighter that responded that was also killed. So. Oh, damn. Huh. Yeah, no offense taken. Exactly. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It doesn't. I know that some of the audience and some people aren't fond of police, Jason. But there's still some good ones out there, and they do what they can to protect people. And yeah, they were probably good dudes, and unfortunately they gave their life. So, firefighter medic, yeah. So it's unfortunate, man. This world is become something that many have not been proud of. So, shit. Wow. Absolutely. Because you're as a law enforcement officer, your primary focus is coming home at night, and they didn't. So it's unfortunate, and yeah. So now we're gonna get into a couple of the really twisted fuckers. I did not see the killer. I generally don't like to give them too much airplay or credit because they're assholes, and I don't think they deserve it. Unless it's like these next ones, we'll see one or two of them. This one's kind of nuts. Yes. This one's kind of nuts. This next one. Mom ran over 7-year-old after making him walk home from school for getting in trouble, police say. Police in Bose, Alabama arrested a woman after she allegedly drove over her own child while making him walk home as a punishment. Cerie Rochelle James, 27, was charged with aggravated child abuse related to the incident on February 9th and was released on a $50,000 bond. James picked up the boy from school and, after learning he got into trouble, stopped the car a short distance away, instructing him to walk or run the rest of the way home, about 8 blocks. When the child tried to grab the door handle, his mother accelerated, pulling him under the vehicle and running him over with the rear tire, according to investigators. The boy sustained abrasions and was taken to a hospital by ambulance. Police Chief Michael Abercrombie stated that it was fortunate the child was not more seriously injured. Some people shouldn't be parents either. Oh, really? I mean, it was a good joke. I just wasn't reading it. Could have been. Hey, Shani. So that was the good one out of this group. Just so you know. Missing Texas girl Audrey Cunningham found dead in the river. Audrey Cunningham, an 11-year-old girl from Texas who went missing on her way to school, was found deceased Tuesday in Trinity River as confirmed by Polk County Sheriff Byron Lyons. Sheriff Lyons stated that Audrey's body was discovered beneath the U.S. Highway 59 in the Trinity River. The body has been transferred to the medical examiner's office to determine cause of death. Polk County District Attorney Shelley Sinton announced the preparation of arrest warrants for Don Stephen McDougal, 42, is to be charged with capital murder. McDougal is a friend of Audrey's father, resides in a trailer on the family's property, and occasionally escorted Audrey to the bus stop, as per the sheriff's statement. Shit picture, but obviously you can tell he's an asshole and just a cute kid that didn't deserve it. So, just tough. There's, yeah, it's unfortunate. 18-year-old man arrested after a 14-year-old Ohio girl was murdered inside her home. What the fuck is wrong with people? Blake Dennis, an 18-year-old from Lima, Ohio, faced a video arraignment Friday in court, where a $2 million bond was set for his murder charge. Charge stems from the death of a 14-year-old Lorelei Sterling, who was found shot to death at 778 Greenlawn Avenue, as reported by the Lima Police Department around 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday. Dennis and Sterling were acquaintances who lived close in proximity, according to police, who are still investigating. A motive for the crime remains unknown at this time. If convicted, Dennis faces a potential sentence of 15 years to life in prison. Not fucking good enough. Another kid. Another fucking kid. This is why I unjokingly said that I wish that goddamn asteroid would just get here. It'd be a welcome sight, because this world is full of evil. Full of evil. Yeah. Life here is 20 years in Michigan, so. And to finish up, crime or prison planet, a Coors Light semi-truck has crashed into a Popeyes restaurant. Reports of multiple people injured in Brooklyn, New York. Multiple crews and agencies are on the scene in Brooklyn after a Coors semi-truck crashed into Popeyes restaurant. There are reports of people injured with leaking saddle tanks from the semi-truck. The exact number of injured is currently unknown. And this was yesterday. We'll watch both videos too. We'll watch this video first, and then we'll go on, finish it up.
Yeah, to all the people. Do you want to know?
This just in. Coors
Yeah.
Light Semi
Mhm.
in the Popeyes.
People around the world join hands, start a love train. Love train. That's that one, right? Silver bullet, cooler string. Update. Officials say significant concern has emerged as diesel fuel leaks onto the street and funnels into local storm drains, posing environmental and safety risks. Authorities are urging the public to steer clear of the area while cleanup and contaminant efforts are underway. Amount of injured still unknown at this time. It looks like he hit it pretty damn hard. Cool. Okay. That's good news. So that's obviously pretty intense. He hit the Popeyes. Tank looks fine. Yeah, I didn't see anything like terribly leaking, but so from one hauling vehicle to another. I think this one's a breaking. No shit, this was yesterday. Shocking video of an Amazon van that was split in half by an oncoming Amtrak train in Ixonia, Wisconsin. So this is an Amazon delivery van. It's stuck on the tracks and it gets split in half. Viewer discretion is advised. Graphic. He makes it, but it's graphic. That shit's scary. Nuts. That is crazy. train tracks are dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. Train tracks are dangerous. So, try and get off the tracks. Apparently, it's stalled or something like that. So, yeah, probably. Probably. Sorry, I'm looking up the IM mission real quick because we're nearing the end. I don't have up-to-date information. Intuitive machines. Let's see what they have. Huh? Okay. We'll get to that in just a minute. So from a Amazon van breaking up to a plane, United Flight makes emergency landing as wing starts to break mid-flight. Boeing 757 originally headed from San Francisco to Boston had to divert to Denver for an emergency landing after the wing of the airplane began to come apart mid-flight Monday evening. There were 165 passengers on board United Flight 354. United confirmed that the plane experienced an issue with the wing slat and that they landed safely at Denver International Airport. Passengers were later transferred to an awaiting plane and got to Boston about 3 hours after the plane landing. The FAA will investigate.
We're just about to land in Denver with the wing coming apart on the plane. Came apart when we took off in San Francisco. And we're just about on the ground. Can't wait for this flight to be over. They got another plane waiting for us. Continue to Boston. Touchdown any second, and the nightmare will be over. Yes. Off and out. Plane intact.
Jesus. Yeah, that would have been some drag for sure. Got it down safely.
Breaking hard now. I'm sure it's got to
Yeah,
affect
diverted to
the
Denver.
plane in some way.
Exactly.
All right. Made it.
Yep, Boeing can suck it. Another Boeing story. Head of Boeing 737 MAX program is out after latest serious incident on company's marquee aircraft. I wonder why. I wonder why they're having problems. I'd never understand or figure it out. I'd never have any clue. No clue whatsoever. Oh man, I left that up. That sucks. This one's kind of funny, but it's not. It's also kind of sad. Kentucky Fried Chicken closes restaurants in Chicago. So listen to this local news report.
Food restaurants are closing their doors.
This news came abruptly. It shocked area residents. It's left them concerned about the future of the local economy. Casey Cronus live with the latest. Casey.
John and Scott, all 3 KFC restaurants are owned by the same franchisee. The move comes as a disappointment to neighbors and also one local alderman who tells me he was blindsided by those closures. The restaurants are located at 83rd and King Drive in Chatham, where renovations have been underway for several months. Now progress has stopped, the windows and doors boarded up. Also in Grand Crossing, the KFC at 75th and Lafayette will no longer serve customers, and in Bronzeville, the chain at 35th and Calumet has been shuttered. This comes less than 1 month after the movie theater Cinema Chatham shut down. 6th Ward Alderman William Hall tells me these closures are a loss for the community, leaving employees out of work and corners vacant.
Well, to the entire Sixth Ward, my frustration is your frustration. We share the same frustration. I live here. I don't want to see abandonment. I don't want to see vacancy, just like you. Working hard with corporations. We have some challenging times, however. We want to, again, look to the future. Hopefully we find or reimagine our corner, even if it means tearing down that KFC and building a new business. But we're not going to stop until that vacancy is filled.
A spokesperson with KFC.
Like I said, kind of funny, but kind of sad too. More and more businesses closed. Exactly. Maybe. I've never been a fan of Boeing. So moving on to the Great American Race. That was this weekend. I didn't get a chance to catch it live. But we'll watch a couple clips. Daytona 500. I've been to a couple. They're always they're always a blast, and I'm not a big racing dude, but so that was the start of the race. Just a reminder that President Trump in 2020 attended the Great American Race and took the Beast for a lap around the Daytona 500.
The Daytona 500 is a legendary display of roaring engines, soaring spirits, and the American skill, speed, and power. But NASCAR fans never forget that no matter who wins the race, what matters most is God, family, and country. The cars will take to the track for the start. Tires will screech. Rubber will burn. Fans will scream, and the Great American Race will begin. For 500 heart-pounding miles, these fierce competitors will chase the checkered flag. To all of the drivers, technicians, and pit crews here today, good luck, and may the best team win. Gentlemen, start your engines.
The 62nd Daytona 500 is underway.
The Daytona 500.
Thank you, Mr. President. So in this year's 500, there was a crash, which is why everybody watches the Daytona 500. So we'll watch the crash real quick.
Now Logano the outside. They can't get around. Whoa! Keselowski gets turned by William Byron. Blaney gets caught up. Gilliland, Truex, Hamlin, and more.
All those Fords were struggling to get around Chastain. Who could get around and get that clean air track position first? That's what happened.
So they're just going to talk about it, and I don't really want the copyright claim. So, hell of a crash near the end of the race, and that paved the way for William Byron, to become the Daytona 500
Sponsored
winner.
by Credit One Bank, and away they go.
After another
That is
crash.
Cindric into Chastain.
Race winner will be the 24. We'll need the 24 to start finish line.
Sponsored by.
So Byron won the Great American Race. So something that's a cause for concern, and I will also be keeping an eye on over the next couple days. We are in a huge set of solar storms right now. Strongest solar flare of the current cycle is now in progress around AR 3590. Stay tuned for the latest up-to-date information. So here's a little bit more of a overview. Our sun has just ejected its third X-class solar flare within 24 hours, with the latest one being an X 6.37, making it the most powerful flare of the current cycle so far. I don't know. I haven't had a bunch of time because this one just happened. I haven't had a bunch of time to see kind of what we're looking at as far as space weather right now. But even NOAA, the National Weather Service or National Oceanic, blah blah blah, whatever it is. X6.3 flare occurred from NOAA SWPC region at 3590. Users of high frequency radio signals may experience temporary degradation or complete loss of signal on the sunlit side of Earth. The general public not need be concerned. So that was today. So it'll take a couple days to get to us, but there's some increased solar activity with solar cycle. That's going. I don't believe so, but I haven't looked extensively, and I know it wasn't by this X class. They do speed up when we get multiples because then they can kind of band together. So if we go over to NOAA, our 24-hour observed maximums are R3. This is kind of what we got looking at. So the sun is angry. Sun is very angry. So projected S1 or greater, R1, R2. So it could all go all the way up to an R5. So it's concerning. We'll have to see where it hits and where it's forecasted. So that'll be something I keep an eye on. But could have some legitimate impact in the days to come. So it's obviously a coronal hole right there. Not yet, but maybe during the solar cycle. Yeah, the Carrington level event. Yep. I know, right? Well, let's look at Northern Lights forecast. Nope. Let's look at the future. Oh shit, I'm not sharing. I'm dumb. Here's the Northern Lights forecast. So the green is obviously the aurora. Looks like Canada's gonna get some. So that's where it's gonna hit. When was that? It's around. Was that the former forecasted model? So no, I'm not going to see him again this time around. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have a good night, Digger. We only have one left. So, our last story for the evening. The United States may have successfully returned to the moon. I still think that there was some less than ideal situations that it landed, but it's looking better and better after they're starting to get more communication from the lander on the surface of the moon. Intuitive Machines tweeted out after troubleshooting communications, flight controllers have confirmed Odious is upright and starting to send data. Right now, we're working on a downlink for the first images of the lunar surface. And they didn't have them up when I just checked, but I will make sure that we don't have Eagle Cam. There is still, for what it's worth, there's still nothing. There's still nothing on the official website, and there's still no confirmation at all from SpaceX. So the only thing we have is that tweet from 1 hour ago, which is a step in the right direction, but that's all we have so far. I'll be waiting for those images, and I'll post them somewhere as soon as we get them, because it's first time since 1972 the United States has been to the moon. So it's an exciting time. I know, right? So this happened a couple hours ago. What was it? 7 Eastern. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for the news roundup for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. And until next time, have a good one, y'all. Take care.